Every coffee needs a lotus.
And welcome back to our morning session, the second part of the HR Virtual Summit Philippines 2020 for today with our dear speaker, Sir Ronnie Turla. And right now, before we proceed to the greetings of the out-of-town participants and to the Q&A, what you are seeing right now is the slide of the HR Virtual Summit Philippines 2020, our way of helping people during COVID-19. Two ways to help. What we do, we, along with Sir Ronnie Turla and all other speakers from the Philippines and abroad, what we did and we're doing is we are giving you free learnings, free materials, free information, free coaching, free guidance. People who are experts in their field, we're giving it to you for free. Why? Because we want you to grow. We want to upbuild you. And at the same time, we're providing you a platform so you yourselves can also give, not give back to us, but give to the people who also are in need. This is the Bayanihan Act 2020. And we are giving you a platform to donate whatever amount you can without hurting your wallet, be it 100 pesos, 200 or more. We will appreciate that. Why? Because yes, we learned something today, but we believe that if giving becomes part of our culture, as it has always been, we give other people a chance to move on with their lives. And in this case, the poorest of the poor, even the bayan ng Mahay, will benefit from your generosity. So again, this is a call for you to make a dent, just like what Sir Ronnie Turla mentioned a while back. Make a dent. This time, you can make a dent, you can make an impact, and you can save lives. Donate to the Bayanihan Act 2020 of Ariva Academy for Bayan ng Mahay. And you know what? When all of these things are over, you will be emerging as a Filipino hero. Ang ganda kasi ng first PowerPoint slide ni Sir Ronnie Turla about HR na nakakita. So, we are all heroes. And we thank you in advance for your generosity. Now, we will be acknowledging our participants from all parts of the Philippines. Earlier, before Sir Ronnie Turla started his presentation, Miss Irish acknowledged the international participants. Now, the local participants, Angeles City, Bacolod City, Bacoor Cavite, Batangas City, Benguet, Butuan City, Cagayan de Oro City, Calamba, Laguna, Capas Tarlac, Carcar City, Cebu City, Davao City, Haro, Iloilo City, Lucban, Quezon, Sampaloc, Quezon, Lucena City, so Lapu-Lapu City, Legazpi City, Mactan, Lapu-Lapu City, Mulanay, Quezon Province, Naik Cavite, Paquil Laguna, Palayan City, Nueva Ecija, and San Jose del Monte City, Bulacan. Maraming salamat. So Sir Ronnie, unang tanong from the Q&A.
Yes.
Okay. So kanina pinakita natin yung gagawin natin. Gusto natin na i-type sa Q&A box. Pero mas gusto ni Sir Ronnie, mas gusto mo ba yung nakikita, naririnig sila?
Pwede rin naman.
Pwede, no? So, yung mga participants natin, yung mga Zoom live questions. So, click natin yung raise button. We want to see you face-to-face, virtually, and hear your voice. Facebook Live, ayan, ang dami ng comments natin sa Facebook Live. So, from the Q&A box, Camille Lasketti, tips on how to convince the employees and business owner that work from home is not going away. Yeah, because you mentioned that a while back. It's here to stay for the next 3 years.
Yep. I think for convincing employers or business owner, what you can do is to build a business case. In terms of the costs and benefits, obviously you have to focus on the benefits of work from home, for health reasons, for for a lot of reasons. Kasi work from home is already the new normal, no? So because of the threat of the COVID, plus the absence of the vaccine, no, really yung safety kasi talaga ng mga tao yung at most right now, survival, as they say, no. So that's why work from home is the best option for a lot of us.
Thank you, Sir Ronnie Turla. Business case, yun ang i-build natin.
Yep.
Now, from Sheena Lynn Compa, this is a preset question. Question number 5. Once the business operations resume, will the employer be liable to the employee's medical expenses due to COVID-19?
Well, that's actually a very touchy issue at this present time, because obviously determining who will be paying for the medication, for example. But obviously, if you're a responsible employer, I think for one, you have to consider paying off for testing your employees. If the employees, for example, really contracted the sickness, for example, you can trigger or at least use your health cards, for example. Talk to your HMOs so that you can be able to shoulder, because for most companies, especially if medyo malaki yung bills that employees will be incurring, you have the options of health card, you have the options of PhilHealth, for example. So there are some remedies that you can use, no, in terms of addressing yung mga sicknesses that you will encounter, no. So I could then still imagine right now, because siguro after the quarantine, you will probably see kung ano magiging result kapag marami nagkasakit pa rin after, no, because if they will be commuting, the virus might still be spread out. So we still don't know how it will evolve eventually.
Thank you, Sir Ronnie. Pero sir, not to put you on the spot, no, pero yung PhilHealth, sagot pa niya lahat ng gastos basta't COVID-19 pasyente?
PhilHealth kasi normally covers a certain parang types of sicknesses, no. So since this is parang because of the pandemic crisis, meron siyang particular may particular provision, because I remember prior to nung nagsa-start pa lang yung crisis na to, I think PhilHealth already defined that they will shoulder a portion of the ano. So meron silang i-shoulder dito.
Okay. Kasi I also have seen the UST. Have you seen that? An article about the UST laying off medical workers kasi 180 million yung utang ng PhilHealth sa kanila, and they cannot pay their people anymore.
Right.
So, salamat Sir Ronnie. John Terence Tesorero, how can HR effectively make changes after the crisis if management is not ready to undertake reforms due to financial challenges? Walang pera si kumpanya.
Okay. Just like what I mentioned earlier in my presentation, if you remember, I think for this one, you'll have to use yung model that I presented, yung how to plan, no? Depending on ano ba yung gusto mong mangyari, survival, would you want to be sustained, for example? So definitely, the best thing to do kung medyo financially challenged ka, cut down really on expenses and look at how you can operate at a minimum, no, without sacrificing yung delivery of your services or delivery of your products. So yun. So parang kumbaga, start really very small. Parang sabi nga nila, this crisis will challenge you paano mo sinimulan yung business as if you're starting from zero. So that's probably the mindset that you have to have if medyo financially challenged ka.
In fact, sir, I would be imagining this as an 8-hour program. Lahat ng tanong nila, masasagot eh. Kasi your slides is, it has covered all facets and all corners and all concerns. Ang ganda ng presentation mo.
Thank you.
Sir, we have another question. This is a pre-sent question from Arlene Cerilia. At ang sabi niya, we are in a restaurant industry. And what are the possible programs that we can give to the employees for us to motivate them during this pandemic crisis? So let's assume na nag-ooperate pa tong restaurant nila.
Yeah. I would suggest na those programs, for example, that yung pinaka staple ng mga companies with regards to mga training programs such as, like say, work attitude, time management, or even stress management, done online. So try to just set up the company or, parang depende kasi kung ano yung setup eh. No? I've had that experience recently, that I had a company na gumawa kami ng 1.5 program, no? Just to reach out to all employees that they had. So they had about 50 of them. And I think it was a good chance for them. Reach out to them through, let's say, Zoom and do a short activity or do a learning program for them. I think this will be much appreciated for this people. Let's say do a twice a month, for example, twice a month activity na you can interact with them. It will help them stay afloat or at least stay updated. No, para meron din silang something na bago na natututunan, no, even during this crisis. So you can do that.
Thank you, Sir Ronnie. Now, we have a Zoom live question. Let's call on Annette Ramirez. Miss Annette? Miss Annette, ready for your face and voice. Hello? Are you there? Usually there's a problem, Sir Ronnie, kapag Zoom live question. Either may delay, may glitch, or... So, habang okay lang pa, habang inaayos namin kung saan ka iba, can we entertain another question in the meantime? Okay lang, Sir Ronnie, no?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, Enrico Resio, what will be your suggestion to handle the big reset for HR practitioners?
Well, I am a fan of I would say the contrarian view. No? When I say a contrarian view, that means that whatever you have believed to be true before, throw it out in the window and pick out new perspectives, new things that you haven't yet done, and parang challenge yourself, no? Because obviously, because of this crisis, one of the things that it has done to us is to question, am I still relevant?
Totoo yan. No.
That's the question, am I still relevant for what I'm doing right now, whether in HR or in other profession? Will I still be relevant? No? So the question there is, you reset yourself. No, nobody can reset it for you. Parang ano lang yan eh, parang the quote of success. Nobody can make you successful if you don't start for yourself. No, so the same thing. So I think for HR, my advice is focus more on really what is not seen by the eye. No, parang as mentioned by an author. No, kumbaga, deal more with the softer side of what you're doing right now. No, if you've been very functional, very administrative, no, talk about really the connections that you have in the company. No, so kasi I think the crisis will show you, kunyari if before team kayo, No, after the crisis, team pa rin ba kayo, or are you just after your own survival, for example?
Totoo.
And that's acceptable because human nature will tell us na we have to protect ourselves, no? Yung interest muna natin ang kailangan nating protektahan before anything else, no? So but you don't want to just settle for that. You still would want to thrive in terms of what you're doing. So again, for me, yung big reset is try to forget all those things that you have believed to be true for HR prior to this crisis, and try to look at what could be possible. No? So the word possible might be endless after this crisis, no? Because sabi nga natin, yung mga posibleng bagay na mangyari, hindi mo na alam ngayon kung ano yung posible kasi na-break na lahat yung barriers ng it has affected us tremendously beyond our imagination.
Tama ka, Sir Ronnie. Kasi I've been co-hosting these webinars since early April with Miss Irish, our president. And at the same time, moderating their webinars. Ang nangyari, the common ground I'm seeing all speakers from all parts of the world is from being result-oriented, maging people-oriented muna tayo.
Yes.
So pasok ito sa HR, human resources. So pati yung mga dating CFO, tinitingnan na yung kapakanan ng mga tao, hindi lang yung pananalapi.
Yes, correct.
Tama, no? I like what you said. What may be true before is never true now. Throw it out the window. Huh? Ayan. So, thank you po, Sir Ronnie. Ida Titco, will the employees have the option to choose when it comes to preference-wise, especially if the management decided to give the employee the assignment of work from home? So ito yung ayaw niya sa bahay.
Yep.
Pero,
okay. I have an answer for that. No? Sige. In terms of the working from home, there's what we call a pilot. You can pilot the work from home setup. Okay, that means that you'll be testing whether it will be suitable for these employees. Okay, so that means that if after the pilot program, no, it doesn't really work for them. No, it might be a consensus for the company and the employee to decide na siguro part-time work from home lang ako pero I still have to be present. Yeah. So you can still have the preference. So the preference is part of the decision making in terms of the work from home.
Kasi mahirap namang pilitin, Sir Ronnie, no?
Yes.
Oo, baka nga, yung kanina, baka yung nakita ko, sir, pinakita mo na roadmap, baka maging hostile eh.
Yes.
Oo.
Correct.
Diba?
Especially nowadays, for example, people can complain on social media. So, pwede ka i-report ng mga employees mo na, pinapersa kami to be able to. Wala naman akong computer or wala naman akong something. For example, paano ako mag-work from home? So, those questions are yet to be answered.
Thank you, Sir Ronnie. Ito, may FB Live question tayo from Sabrina Montoro Kapatoy. What is your approach in cutting down on salaries? Ayan, 20% cut, 30% cut, 50%.
Okay. The principle for cutting salaries is always dependent on the scope of work that you'll be doing. So, as I would always tell whenever I teach about salary administration, it starts with the job. So, I think if you will be eventually cutting down salaries, the first thing that you have to define, what is the scope of the job? So, come up with the job description for the new normal or for the operations afterwards. Come up with the working schedule of that person. So, and make sure that that person feels na you are still taking care of them, but you also have to allow them to feel na this is not permanent. Okay, pay cuts at a certain point are not permanent in nature. Okay, so it depends on the agreement that you can have. So for this one, I would suggest to HR to have communication such as letters of agreements with the person. No? So that's very important, no? Because one of the ways that you can defend yourself legally is there was an agreement made between the employee and the company, no? Because of the situation. No? So you're not doing this to discriminate certain people, but it was only because you have to really do this particular measure na kailangan mong i-redesign yung trabaho eh. And in so doing, pati yung salary niya patamaan eh.
Okay.
But
Sige.
if this will be temporary only, you have on a legal basis, meron kang sinasabi, yung Article 300 ng Labor Code kasi says that you have a maximum of 6 months. Okay, 6 months to say na we're not on a normal operation. No? After that, if the company feels na you have to let go of people, to really cut down on salary, then decide to retrench them, offer them separation pay because you cannot maintain them anymore. Okay, but for the meantime, if you can, identify mo yung mga positions, redefine the jobs, and then let them agree if they're amenable to the pay cuts, for example. So pay cuts would be temporary in nature, based on agreements. Assure them that if operations will go back to really normal, then you can still offer them the same salary that they used to have prior. So yeah.
Thank you, Sir Ronnie. Sir Ronnie, follow-up question. Madodole daw po ba sila?
Okay.
Kapag nagpa-pay cut.
Okay. I cannot speak about that because I'm not from Dole. I have some people that I know from Dole. But I would honestly say that posible pwedeng magkaroon ng complaints because of this. But I think Dole would still act also favoring some employers if they can show that it was done in good faith. Meaning that show them that, for example, I'm in a non-essential industry, I was affected. So how do you expect me to pay the same amount of salary? So obviously you just have to be transparent. No? So if I'm the employer, if I'm in HR, for example, look at your books. No? Kung talagang wala kayong sales, wala kayong income, for example. So how can you afford to pay X amount of salary? So I think you just have to make some logic, to Dole if ever. But expect nyo rin that, of course, Dole would, give certain airtime for the employee who's grieving, because of the pay cut. But make sure that you justify based on your current situation. No? So, so that's what you can do. If Dole will be if you will be called by Dole for any situation.
So, Sir Ronnie, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, Dave Ulrich, I have moderated and interviewed him personally at least via webinar, and Sir Ron Thomas and all the international speakers, and they seem to agree that when you want to do the pay cut initiative, magsisimula sa CEO. If they will be asking the people to take 20% pay cut, they will take 50% pay cut.
Yes.
Kasi Amerika yun, UAE yun, dito sa Pilipinas, sana all. Imagine generous pay cut, no? Basta walang issue sa Dole. Thank you, sir. Anonymous attendee, can you share some employee engagement tips for those who have already been laid off in the service provider? Wala na, pero i-engage mo pa rin.
I-engage mo pa. Okay.
Oo.
Well, I guess siguro yung shinare ko kanina in terms of the downsizing strategy. Siguro prior to identifying if they will be downsized, you can still engage with them and then prepare them for the outplacement, no? So, yun yung tinatawag sa HR kasi na outplacement, no? Meaning if you downsize, some companies kasi don't do outplacement kasi they just fulfill yung financial obligation. Pero some employers who are who really has the resources naman, you can provide some outplacement activities such as yung mga career counseling, parang enrollment to livelihood seminars, for example. So, yung mga ganon could, help the employee to still be engaged and still appreciate na even if I'm losing my job, the company is still helping me to make a jump to my next employer, to my next career, for example. So that could be things that you can do to engage the person. Yun. So help out the employee who is being displaced to prepare for the next life.
Gusto ko yung illustration mo, Sir Ronnie, yung parachute assistance. Hindi mo basta sila itatapon sa eroplano. Ibigyan mo sila ng parachute para pagbaba nila, buhay pa.
Buhay pa. Correct.
Gusto ko
kasi
yun.
Parang ganun yun, ba? Parang kumbaga, pag sa pag sa in the air, if something happens and you have to survival na, you have to let go of the person.
Gahagis mo
Make
na lang
sure na ano naman, kumbaga parang mabubuhay pa rin naman siya pagbalik sa lupa.
Sa lupa, tama, sir. Sir, Zoom live. Arlene Cerilla.
Okay. Hi,
Arlene.
Are you here?
Are you here?
Ayun, Arlene.
Andyan po, nakikita ba natin?
Ayun, nag-raise ng hands eh. Oh.
Nag-raise ng hands. So, Ma'am Arlene, nawala na siya. Okay lang yan.
Okay.
So, sir, from, nasabi na to, anonymous attendee, which is better, retrenchment or layoff?
Okay. My advice for that is parang dapat gradual. No? Just like what I mentioned about the downsizing, dapat gamitin mo muna lahat yung diniscuss ko doon sa slides kanina. No? So, do everything possible first. Make it a last resort for you to do retrenchment or layoff. Kasi remember, when you're going to do retrenchment or layoff, you have to show to the employee that you have done everything possible to save the job. Okay? If you do that, then the employee would feel na, okay, I think I have already transitioned, I have accepted na wala na talaga akong options kasi talagang wala nang magagawa din yung company at this present time. Talagang kailangan tanggalin na rin yung trabaho. So, if you have done all stuff like for example, yung mga forced leave, reduction and still maintain an open communication. So in that way, I think hindi magiging mahirap yung pag-decide for retrenchment or layoff. Kasi remember, part of organizational life and kung nakaka-experience ka talaga ng crisis na meron talagang part na you'll have to be realistic na potentially pwede kang ma-retrench or ma-layoff. So as I've said kanina na there's nothing secure anymore nowadays. No? So minsan akala mo parang everything is secure, everything is good, for example, and then suddenly something will hit you na ikaw na pala yung susunod, for example. So, and of course, blaming is something that can happen in organizations. Just make sure as HR na you're not in the, if you receive blames, for example, do it, transform it for something good. No, don't try to make yourself a victim of blaming, no? Because obviously it's not really something personal to you. It's really just a job. No? So, kasi especially mga HR nowadays, kapag yung question of retrenchment or layoff, they will be in the line of fire, as they say. No? So, parang may imagine nila na parang ang hirap na mamili kung sino yung dapat. No? But at the end of the day, it's a business decision that will overrule your emotions at this time.
Thank you, Sir Ronnie. And I think what will comfort them in the end is, alam nila, ipinaglaban sila ng HR.
Yes.
Na hanggang doon na lang talaga, pero for how many, say, weeks, ipinaglaban na manatili yung trabaho. So, okay na rin yun.
Okay.
Now, nagbabalik si Arlene Cerilla. Ma'am Arlene, asa na po kayo? Sana nandito pa kayo. Andyan pa ba, Sir Ronnie? Kumakaway pa ba?
Parang wala na kumakaway.
Wala na si Ma'am Arlene. So, Miss Iris, let us know. Sir Jeff, let us know kung andyan pa rin siya. But in the meantime,
Annalisa, Arlene. Tama ba, Arlene? Are you
Arlene
here?
Cerilla, andyan ba siya?
Ayun. I think.
Ayan na po. Ayan na daw, ha? Ayan na.
Okay. Sige.
Suspense. Hello?
Sige. Ayan. She's there.
Nakaposisyon na siya. Ma'am Arlene, kumusta po? Ayan, nagtatype si Miss Iris ngayon. Inaantay ko kung anong kalalabasan. Ayan, nag-enjoy po ba? Raise ng hands lang yung mga Zoom participants natin. If you're still engaged. Ayan.
Ayun.
O, ayan na siya. Hello, Ma'am Arlene Cerilla.
I have a poor connection. Sorry.
Poor connection. Yeah.
Okay
Yes.
lang po. Nakita na namin ang kamay nyo. Ayan.
I'm trying to type my questions for a while.
O, naririnig ka na namin, Ma'am Arlene. Take your time.
Okay, wait.
Sabi ni Miss Irish, move on na. Hindi, nandito ka. Tutuloy natin to, di ba, Ma'am Arlene?
Yes. Wala na naman.
Yan.
Okay lang, ma'am. Itanong mo lang yan kahit di ka namin makita in the meantime.
Question na lang.
Question muna, ma'am. Ano ang tanong ni Ma'am Marlene? Naririnig po namin kayo.
Okay. We are in a restaurant, so we are private sector.
Mhm.
Most of our employees are asking after the ACQ if they will receive the hazard pay. But
Mm.
unfortunately, we are not entitled for that program, and
Oh.
it was lifted last April 13.
Mhm.
So, may mga questions sila na, ma'am, what if nakunod naman magkaroon ng COVID? Yun nga, kumaga nabanggit ni sir na after this, may fear sila, not motivated. So, ano yung, being the HR, what are the possible na pwede naming maging sabihin sa kanila to motivate other benefits na pwede naming ibigay, although most of the industry now is yun nga medyo mababa talaga, medyo need mag downsize, di ba? So kailangan being the yung mga rank and file kasi medyo hindi sila motivated, yung iba nga parang they want not to resign pero they know naman na mahirap mag-apply ngayon sa other company.
Yeah.
So through that, ano yung mga possible ba na pwede namin ibigay kahit maliit lang na pwedeng masabi namin sa owner namin, parang gano'n.
Okay. Maybe ang suggestion ko, the ones that I view na encounter ko with other companies, no. They can identify siguro yung mga like review first yung statutory benefits such as, let's say, 13th month. If there could be a portion of 13th month that you can provide to your employees, I think that could be an assistance to them, no. So given we're running 5 months already for the year, so probably for those people na who have been you for a certain number of months, you can identify kung pwede nyo ibigay yung 13th month because that's already running, no, yung 13th month kasi ang requirement naman sa 13th month is 1 month of service, no, to the company. Yan. So plus siguro i-review nyo lahat yung mga benefits. For example, the other suggestion that I might have, if you have leave benefits, either yung service incentive leave or if you have VL or SL, for example, that you're providing to your employees, I suggest that you convert it into cash. For example, kung kunwari may leave credit sila na 5, 6, for example, multiply that to their daily rate, for example, and give it out to them as an assistance, no? So at least in the form of cash, kinonvert mo yung kanilang leave. Yeah. So again, yun, you have 13th month, you have leave benefits, for example, and then siguro ang pwede nyo ring masabi sa kanila is that you can assist them for anything that they will process with SSS, PhilHealth, or even if they have already some with Pag-ibig, for example, no. So yun, yung mga loans, for example, or even kayo as a company, if you can, kung kaya nyo mag-provide ng, let's say, cash assistance or loan, for example, you can do so. Yan. Yun yung mga possible na pwede nyong identify para ma-motivate pa rin yung employee.
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, last question. Ano po yung mga pwede namin gawin dun sa mga empleyado na, for example, after the ACQ kasi we're planning to start the operations. Yung mga staff na, yun nga, yung may takot pa rin sila na even if we announce na yun nga, pag na-lifted na yung ACQ, start na operations, pero ayaw nilang munang pumasok. Parang gano'n. So, di ba may dole tayo ngayon na we can dismiss an employee during this pandemic crisis?
Okay. Ang suggestion ko doon with regards to yung kung sino yung mga papasok, no? Because I think more than anything else, when you resume kasi, kailangan yung communication nyo doon sa employees has to be progressive. Ang ibig ko sabihin ng progressive, hindi lang pwedeng isang meeting, no? Tapos sasabihin, magbabalik na tayo, for example. So, baka kinakailangan nyo na kausapin din individually yung mga tao more than just having a group, no? Kasi nowadays, ang technique na dapat gamitin nyo is yung multiple communication channels. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang to dapat parang general meeting, for example, kasi extraordinary yung situation eh. Hindi naman to yung parang, parang status quo lang na magge-general meeting lang kayo because tumigil yung operations. It's really a difficult situation. So, kailangan ipakita nyo dun sa employee na meron kayong support na may bibigay sa kanila in that case, no? And siguro, to address yung fear, for example, if you can, do some testing, no? Yun kasi ngayon ang nagiging trend for some companies to do some testing. So, either through the help of other organizations or kayo mismo, meron kayong sariling initiative to do testing for your employees. I think that's one of the measures para ma-address yung fear. Kasi, di ba, I think nowadays yun talaga naman yung biggest question na di ba, pag may katrabaho ka na, hindi mo alam kung meron ba siya or wala. That's why a test result is the best answer for addressing fear at this present time. Yeah, so if you can do, no? If not, then siguro play the role of an assuring mother or father or a kuya to the person, no? So that's the other way to do it, no? Aside from testing. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma'am Arlene, and thank you, Sir Ronnie. Grabe, time flies so fast, Sir Ronnie. Alas 12 na.
Alas 12 na.
Kaya pa ba isang question na lang, Zoom live?
Yeah. Sige, one more question.
Tawagin natin Jane Daarol for our Zoom live question. The last question for the day. Ma'am Jane? Diyan po ba kayo? Ayan. Kumusta si Ma'am Jane? Grabe, Sir Ronnie, no? Ang bilis ng oras.
Yeah.
Kasi nga, yung pinresent mo sa amin, pang 8 oras yan.
Pag Monday. Shout out to Irish. Pwede tong one-day workshop.
One-day workshops na sa mga companies. Ito, Jane Daarol, andyan pa ka pa po ba? And I'm sorry if you're not there, we cannot entertain any more questions. Wag na, sir. Ayan, so hindi na daw po. Anyway, thank you, Ma'am Jane, for raising your hand. I'm sorry we cannot put you through the Zoom live question anymore. Sir Ronnie. So everybody, let's give Sir Ronnie a big, big hand, everyone. Ayan. Sir Ronnie, last minute of our show is called The Takeaway. Ano yung, sa dami lang ibinigay mo sa amin na sobrang gandang kaisipan, ano yung gusto mong iuwi namin? Although, technically, nasa bahay naman talaga kami ngayon.
Takeaway, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, siguro ang last message ko lang for us is that ultimately, yung crisis that we're experiencing right now gave us the realization that we have a choice and we have the option to choose our mindsets, to choose what we will be doing for the next coming days, weeks, or years, for example. So ultimately, try to look at, I would say, yung growth mindset. No? Try to look at how you can grow despite the crisis that you have right now. I know that you will be experiencing problems and difficulties, but it's all part of your learning process and your growth, that better things will come after this crisis. So still be optimistic, still be positive. And siguro as a last word, I would say hang on. Hang on.
Grabe. Ang ganda nung kantang yan, ha?
That's
hang on, di ba? Ni Gary V. Thank you, Sir Ronnie. Again, palakpakan natin ang napakahusay na HR expert. Looking forward, sir, to share the stage with you kapag bukas na lahat, ha? As in real stage. Hindi yung virtual stage.
Virtual stage.
Thank you, Sir Ronnie.
Thank you,
as Sir Ronnie fades out of the screen, fades in, Ma'am Irish Malonda Samson. Ayan. Grabe, maraming salamat po. Ang daming nagpapalakpakan. Grabe, binabaha tayo, Miss Irish, ng message of gratitude.
Yes, and thank you, Sir Ronnie, for sharing the best practices on HR planning. It is indeed very useful and timely, especially for our HR professionals out there. Kailangan nila ito. So with that, thank you so much. A big hand for Sir Ronnie Turla.
Grabe, di ba? Tatanungin mo ba ako?
Sure, sirs. Go ahead.
Ano itatanong mo sa akin?
Of course, your takeaway.
My takeaway. Grabe, ano? Ang gusto kong takeaway niya, di ba itong 8-hour seminar compressed into 1 hour? Sobrang dami nating na isubi, na isave. Ang pinaka gusto ko sinabi niya, throw it out the window. Kung marami tayong na-save ngayon, ang itatapon natin sa bintana, yung mga dating paniniwala. And let's start all over again. Let's reset everything. Yung sinabi niya, yung totoo dati, hindi na totoo ngayon. That's the best thing. I mean, I loved every slide. I loved every piece of data and information he shared. Pero yun yung pinakagusto ko. It is a glaring truth. Throw it out the window. Let's reset starting today.
Amen. Amen to
Amen.
that, Sir Howell. And of course, we would like to thank you for moderating our session this morning. And also, I'll be seeing you later for our e-learning masterclass.
Okay.
Thank you, Sir
Thanks,
Howell.
Osiris.
Bye-bye.
Wag mo nang
And
alis.
okay. And for those of you, sabi nga ni Sir Ronnie, please hang on because I still have a lot of announcement to make for our upcoming online learning sessions. Okay. And we would like first to acknowledge our win-win partners who help us make this e-learning session possible. Thank you to our official media partner, Art Plus Magazine, Focus Media, Globaltronics, City Advertising Ventures, Outcome, Elevate Media. For win-win partners, thank you to Brother, Faber-Castell, Glutacy, Moringa O2, KFC, Mr. Donut, Tokyo Tokyo, Lotus Biscoff, Boss Job. Thank you also to Sir Technology Inc., Finma Properties, Salary Jet, Ilawi Korea, Kitosan and Carpo Consulting. Thank you to Enchanted Kingdom, Disperse, Cosmotech Philippines Inc. And if you want to place your ads here, advertise your logo, your services, your company, please do reach us at marketing@ariva.com.ph. Again, it's marketing.ariva.com.ph. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. It's Ariva Academy Philippines Inc. Facebook page. Please scan this QR code and this will be directed to our Facebook page. And also, we are also posting the live stream of our e-learning sessions on our Facebook page. So don't forget to like us. If you want to watch the e-learning session that we just had with Mr. Ronnie Turla, of course, and the previous e-learning sessions, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Ariva Academy and Ariva Talks. Again, Ariva Academy and Ariva Talks YouTube channel. For our upcoming online learning sessions, please visit our website. It's Ariva, www.ariva.com.ph. And we would like to again invite you on our HR Virtual Summit PH 2020 Bounce Back HR. So these are the series of our live webinar series for Upcross. And we have invited international and local subject matter experts to share with us their wisdom on HR field. We would like also to invite you on our e-learning masterclass. This will be later, 4 to 6 p.m. We will be having the Asia's millennial guru, Mr. Jonathan Yabut. He will be discussing online selling from home, how to use FB, IG, and LinkedIn for your business. So this is very timely, guys. Please do register. Another e-learning session, live webinar series for a cause. Don't waste a good crisis, how to thrive, not just survive during a global pandemic. This will be tomorrow. Join us tomorrow, May 8th. We have invited Mr. Roger Colliantes, an international guru, to talk about this. Don't forget, join us tomorrow. This will be on Monday, May 11. Data privacy concerns during a pandemic, protecting your personal data in time of COVID-19. And we have invited, of course, attorney James Earl Chu, a lawyer and data privacy consultant, to talk about this. May 11, don't forget. Another e-learning session, Tuesday, May 12, 3 to 4:30 p.m. Dr. Ed Canela will be discussing COVID-19, Google, and you, boosting your productivity using Google tools. This is very useful, guys, so please do register. Another live webinar series for a cause, solutions-oriented leadership, how to survive and thrive during a crisis. We have invited a certified speaking professional of National Speakers Association, none other than Dr. Rick Goodman, to talk about this. Don't forget May 13, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Another e-learning session from Professor Ricky De Vera, Rethinking Customer Intimacy Strategies, during the pandemic, May 13, 3 to 4:30 p.m. Another e-learning masterclass from Mr. Jonathan Yabut, leading a work from home workforce, how to manage and develop remote teams. This is ideal for the managers, the executives out there. So please join us on May 14, Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. Another live webinar series for our cause. We have invited Mr. Paul Larson, a global keynote speaker from United States. He will be discussing Find Your Voice of Resiliency so that you lead with confidence. Please join us May 15, 10:30 to 11:30 in the morning. And if you want to customize an e-learning session for your company, for your team, you want to invite Sir Ronnie Turla for a talk, please do reach us at 0916-695-4418 or email me at irish.arivaacademy@gmail.com. And that's it, guys. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for the HR professionals, HR clients who joined us today. Hope that you would be able to use it, to apply it in the workplace. So, again, this is Irish Malonda Samson from Ariva Academy saying it's all about being better. Please be home and stay safe. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great lunch. Bye bye.